All right, guys, you should be excited. Why? Because we're doing percentages, and percentages apply to your daily life, and you will actually use them. You know how you're always like, when am I going to use this in real life? Guess what? You're going to use this for real. Okay. All right. We're going to do percentages. What is 15% of 60? Problems like that. Also, what percentage is 15 of 75? Problems like that. Okay. Really fast. I'm going to give you a quick background. Don't switch videos because I just said that. It's going to be fast, and I think you'll be glad you watched. Okay. So, what are percentages? Okay. Percent means per hundred. Okay. Why do I care? That means if I say 35%, it really means 35 out of 100. Okay. And if you're like, okay, why do we care? Hold on. Okay. So let's say you did 2 math assignments and you got 72 out of 80 on one of them, 30 out of 40 on the other. Well, it's kind of hard to know like which one you did better on, right? Well, one way to figure out is to change it into percentages, right? So how we do that is 72 divided by 80 gives me 0.9 or 0.90. I literally just divide them. 72 divided by 80, put that in my calculator. So what that means is you can also write that as 90 out of 100. That's the same thing written as a fraction, okay? And then 90 out of 100 means 90%, right? So that means you got 90% on that assignment, okay? Now, 30 out of 40, 30 divided by 40 gives me 0.75. That can be written as 75 out of 100, which means 75%. So now you can be like, oh, I did better on this one, okay? It makes everything out of 100 so we can compare them really easily, and it's awesome, okay? All right, onward. What is 15% of 60? We're going to answer each question. If needed, round to the nearest tenth. The nearest tenth is 1 decimal place, okay? All right. What is 15% of 60? Well, 15% really means 15 out of 100, okay? And that can also be written as 0.15, okay? So to find out what 15% of 60 is, I'm going to take 60 and multiply it by 0.15. Okay, I'm guessing your teacher will probably let you use a calculator. If not, I have a how to multiply decimals video over there if you need that. But hopefully your teacher lets you use a calculator. Okay, so let's do 60 times 0.15. And I get, oh my gosh, I did divide. Guys, 60 times 0.15. Gosh, all right, equals 9. Sweet. What does that mean? That means if you're at the store and you're going to buy something for $60 and it's 15% off, well, 15% of 60 is 9. 60 minus 9 is 51. So if you're buying it for 15% off, you'd be paying $51. Okay, look at that. Real life. Bam. Told you. All right. What is 9% of 90? Okay. Well, 9% really means 9 over 100. Okay. And that written as a decimal is 0.09. Okay. If you're like, where is she getting these decimals from? If you don't know them off the top of your head, you can type them into your calculator. 9 divided by 100 will give you 0.09. Okay. Now, we're going to take 90 and multiply it by 0.09. Now, it's important to have this 0 here because if I multiply by 0.9, that's going to give me 90%, not 9%. Okay, so that's just one thing to watch out for. If it's 9%, make sure that 0 is there. Okay, so I'm going to take 90 times 0.09, and I get 8.1. Okay. All right. So if I was getting 9% off something for $90, it would be 8.1 or $8.10 off. Okay. Whoa. Isn't that cool? All right. Hopefully you're jumping ahead of me because you're like, oh, this is awesome. 13% means 13 out of 100, which as a decimal is 0.13. So I'm going to take 125 and times by 0.13. Okay. Let's plug that in. 125 times 0.13 gives me 16.25. Okay, I'm going to stick that over here because we're going to round. So 16.25, we're supposed to round to the first decimal place, the 10th. So to round, this is the one I'm rounding to. You look behind it. 5, if it's 5 or above, you round up. So I'm going to round this to 16.3. Okay. If this had been a 4 or a 3 or a 2 or a 1 or a 0, I'd do 16.2. Okay. 5 and up, 16.3. Look at that. All right, 20% of 45. 20% means 20 over 100. And as a decimal is 0.2 or 0.20, same thing. So I'm going to take 45 times 0.2. 45 times 0.2 gives me 9. Look at that. All right, you might have some that look like this where they give you the two numbers and they want to know what the percentage is. Okay, well, we kind of already did this in that example I showed you. So what percentage is 15 of 75? I can just write this as 15 over 75. And I'm just going to divide that. Okay, 15 divided by 75 gives me 0.2. Well, that doesn't look like a percentage. Well, what is 0.2 as a fraction? Oh, look, I didn't even plan this, but this works out well. Yay me. Remember up here where 20 over 100 was 0.2 or 0.20? So 0.2 is 20 over 100. Okay, which means 20%. Okay, another way you might think of this is you just scoot the decimal place over 1 2 times and get 20%. Okay, so you can think of it of just scooting it over twice, and the reason why that works is because of this. Okay, all right, what percentage is 17 of 50? Okay, so 17 out of 50. I literally just plug that in to my calculator and I get 0.34. Okay. That really means 34 over 100, right? Because this is my hundredths place. So 34%. Or you could have thought of it as just boom, boom. Okay. So that means if you got 17 out of 50 on an assignment, you got 34%. Okay. This is really how your teachers do your grades, guys. Isn't that cool? Okay. What percentage is 62 out of 250? Okay. I am just plugging this in here. And I get 0.248. Okay. Now, it says to round to the nearest tenth, but I'm going to wait until it's already a percentage. Okay, so this scoots over twice, 1 2, and I get 24.8. When we see it that way, it's already rounded to the first decimal place. So 24.8%. Okay, aren't percentages awesome? Yes, they are. Okay, hopefully you can get your homework done and have dreams of math that aren't nightmares.